What's up? This is Release Rotation. I'm your host, John W. Snyder. It's Monday, August 19th, close to 10 p.m. as I record this podcast. So over the last couple of weeks, I've gotten some feedback, as I put that in quotes, about one thing with my podcast is my voice and how I talk. I'm trying to be quiet, and that might not be as fun. It might be boring. But I've got 2 kids under 4 and a wife who goes to bed early, asleep in my house. And so I usually record these after they go to bed because I haven't figured out a better time to do it, because it's really hard when they're awake because the house is loud and all of that. And so that's why sometimes I come across quiet or maybe monotone, or just I might put you to sleep, and I apologize for that, but that's kind of where I'm at right now, and there's not much I can really do about it, and so I'm going to keep going and keep doing it. I hope that I can maybe be a little more peppy and talk a little bit better as I do this without waking my kids, and so that's why sometimes it's a little quieter, or I talk really quiet because my family's sleeping and I don't want to wake them up. So, now that I got that off my chest, let's talk NBA. There's not a lot to talk about. That's what's so boring about the summer. Not much has happened. There was a rookie survey that the rookies did that came out today, I think. And Zion Williamson is by far the rookie who will win Rookie of the Year according to the rookies. That's fine. He probably will, as long as he stays healthy. And then what's interesting, though, they've done this survey since 2007, and the only time they actually picked the correct Rookie of the Year was in 2007, and it was Kevin Durant. Since then, it has not been correct. So, kind of an interesting survey. It's really just, I guess, they call it a survey. It's like guesses more than anything. But I guess that's what a survey is in some ways. But it's more guesses than it. Well, I say that. I don't know. It's guesses. I wouldn't really call it a survey. It's kind of both, I guess. But then another question was, which rookie will have the best career? And Cam Reddish for the Atlanta Hawks got the majority of the votes with 19%. What was interesting is Zion got 5% of the votes. So, Rookie of the Year, Zion, but best career overall, Cam Reddish for the Hawks. So, that's interesting. We'll see what happens. Obviously, the season starts a couple months, but we'll find out. It'll be fun. Can't wait. So it'll be fun. We'll see what happens with these rookies. There's a lot of good rookies, I think, at least a handful. So it'll be fun to watch and see how the season plays out. Another cool story that came out today was Steph Curry and how he's gonna sponsor Howard University, their men's and women's golf team, and start to get them Division I. So they're going to start Division I golf teams at Howard, and Steph Curry is going to sponsor those teams. And they didn't announce how much it's going to be, but it's going to be for 6 years. So that should be enough to get it up and going. But at least for now, it's 6 years that Steph Curry is going to sponsor the golf team. And in the report and the story, this was from the AP, some of the information, but Curry said, this is Curry's quote. He said, "The idea around recreating Howard's golf team and turning it into a Division I program for men and women was born on that specific night. Now, 7.5 or 8 months later, here we are." And that specific night that he's talking about was talking to a Howard student who was trying to get the university to start a golf team. And so he was having a conversation with a Howard student, and now, as Curry says, here we are, 7.5 or 8 months later. So Howard will have a Division I golf team for men and women starting in 2020-2021 academic year. So not this year, but next year. So that's a really cool story. Steph Curry, if you follow NBA and know, he plays golf a lot, and he's really good. And so that's such a cool story. You don't really hear about this happening, and so maybe it'll get some more pro athletes to do something like this, maybe for even some other sports at schools. Who knows, but really cool story. So kudos to Steph Curry. So 6 years, I don't even know what it costs to, keep a golf team up and running, men's and women's. And it doesn't really say specifically if that's going to cover scholarships, but I mean, I'm guessing it will. I don't know. I couldn't find that in any of the stories, but the athletic director, his quote was that this is one of the most generous gifts in the history of Howard University. So I'm sure it's a lot of money, and I'm sure it'll take care of these athletes and these student athletes over the next several years. So that's really, really awesome. So that's all the NBA news I have. We'll be right back after this quick break. What's up? We are back after that quick break. So just over my however many years of trying to do certain things and trying to do websites or blogs or podcasts or YouTube channels, that kind of thing, something that always comes up is knowing when to throw in the towel. And that could go for a lot of things. Like when is the right time to quit? When is the right time to stop doing that thing you're doing and either evolve it, change it a little bit, tweak it, or just completely stop doing it at all? And one thing that I do in my spare time also is I like to learn more and more about the stock market and different stocks. And over the time I've been doing stocks and learning about them and buying and selling, one thing that I know is, and that I've learned, is not letting your emotions get involved. And that's a lot easier said than done. And so that's why, like with the stock market, I have what I call my sell rules. If I make 20% on a stock, I'm going to sell it immediately. But then if I'm down 5 to 7% on a stock, I'm going to sell it immediately. Just because you've got to set rules, and sell rules are very important when it comes to the stock market. And yeah, I may have missed out on some money both ways. Like I could have sold the stock after it went down 6%. And it went back up, or I could have sold the stock at 20% and it could have gone up another 20%. That's happened. I've lost out both ways. But by doing that over and over again, it gets easier and easier. It's easier to sell a stock once it's down 6%. It's easier to sell a stock when I'm up, 15, 20%. And I think just doing it more and more is I've trained myself to not let my emotions get involved, because once you start playing head games and letting your emotions get involved, sometimes with stocks, you want to stick it out and keep doing it. And, it might go down 7%. You're like, well, let's see what it does tomorrow. Then it goes down another 2%. So now you're down 9%. It's like, wait, it's got to come back now. It's gone down so much. I've seen it time after time. It'll just go down another 3 or 4%. And so that's more money that I've lost. And the other way, it's, if the stock's gone up 20%, it's like, oh, well, it's going up. It's up 20%. Let's wait and see what happens tomorrow. It goes up 25%. Cool. Or I've seen it where maybe I'll hold on and it goes down 8% the next day. And so once you get your emotions out of the way, it's a lot easier to stop doing things. Especially I think with like the stock market, it's easy. If you let your emotions get involved, you're not going to be successful. And so once you can get your emotions out of the way, you can be successful. And I have been trying and learning to apply that to other areas of my life, of not letting my emotions get involved. And one that you're going to laugh at me, but that I just started, something that I just did, and I'm already at the point where I think I need to cut it because, one, I don't have time for it. I thought I thought I would. And two, I'm not sure what I'm doing and I'm spreading myself thin. And that's my website, which I probably have not had that many hits anyways. I did set a goal to launch it by the end of July, which that I did. And now I'm 20 days in. And I think I've updated it once. And instead of wasting my time trying to figure out Squarespace and trying to figure out a website and doing all of that, I feel like I need to spend more of that time and all of that time that I was spending on a website on just the podcast. And so at this point, if you've been to releaserotation.com, I am going to shut it off. I'm going to keep it though, because who knows what happens down the road. Like if I get somewhere where I can have somebody help me run it and keep it updated and turn it into maybe some kind of sports blog or some kind of website around the podcast, then I will. But I'm realizing that I'm spreading myself thin, and I'm not there yet. I've got a long ways to go with just the podcast, and by spreading myself thin, I'm neglecting certain things here, and so that's something I have to cut off. Is the podcast? I can't let my emotions get involved. And just like the stock market, if I sell a stock after it went down 5%, I can keep watching it. And if it starts going up and it's looking good and the fundamentals are good, the earnings are good, then I can always buy back in. And that's the exact same thing with this website or with other things that you may be working on. But for me, with this website, you know what? I can shut it down for now. And eventually, once I get things rolling here and I get my interviews down and I get more listeners and I feel like I'm in a spot where I could have a website, then I can always jump back in. So it's the same thing. And so I'm not letting my emotions get involved, because if I were, it'd be like, no, let's make it happen. I can't fail. I can't do this. And, yeah, sure. Maybe it is a failure. Maybe it's not, but I've learned from it. And the main thing I've learned is that, again, I've already said this 4 or 5 times, but I've spread myself too thin trying to do something with this brand of Release Rotation. And right now, the one thing that I need to focus on and keep on track is my podcast. Because I realized as I look back, I was spending way too much time trying to figure out how to build a website and how to make it work, when I should have been spending that time researching and coming up with better stories and actually reaching out to people to interview, which I haven't done. And so that's what's happening with this. Is the website's going to go away for a while, could be back, maybe never. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But that's where I'm at right now. And I just tell you this story and let you know, obviously, because I want to be transparent about it, but also just to encourage you. If there's something that you need to cut in your work life or personal life or whatever it might be, do it. If it's a website, if maybe you have a YouTube channel and you're the opposite and you're like, maybe I could have a podcast, Maybe you don't have time to figure that out and do that right now. Then don't do it. Focus on what you're good at. And that brings me up to the point of I would rather be great, like in certain, and I put this in different boxes of my life. But with release rotation, the few things that I want to be great at is the podcast, whether it's producing it, directing it, writing for it, talking, interviewing. Those are the things that I want to be great at with release rotation. And so I'd rather be great at a few things than good at 8 things. And one of those things that I could be good at is the website, but I don't want to focus on that now, and I want to take that focus away. I want to get rid of it for now. And so again, I'd rather be great at a few things than good at like 7 or 8 things. And so that's where I'm at with release rotation. I appreciate you listening. And that's the other thing. Why make you go to a website? Why do that right now? Sure to be a great place if people stumbled on it and then they could find my podcast. That may or may not happen later down the road. But for now, I'm just going to do the podcast and focus on that. And I'm going to shut down the website because I just can't dedicate any time to it to make it great. And I want it to be great. And so that's what I have for you. Thank you so much for listening. Hit me up on Twitter or Instagram at John W. Snyder, JohnWSnyder. Let me know those things you're great at. Let me know what you're cutting out. Let me know. How can I encourage you? What can I do for you? Please let me know what I can do for you. I don't want to be self-serving and only getting stuff out of you guys, meaning only getting listeners or only whatever. But I really want to figure out how I can help people with this podcast. And so let me know if we need to network, if you need to get connected with somebody, let's figure it out, whatever it might be. So hit me up on Twitter or Instagram, JohnWSnyder. Let's figure it out together. This is Release Rotation. We'll be back next week.